You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football and Turkish Super League podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmet Turgut. Welcome to this week's edition of Turkish Football Podcast. Next 15 minutes, we'll talk about what happened in the week 23. We'll also recap for you the European competition matches for Fenerbahçe and Galatasaray, and we'll preview the week 24 coming up on Friday, starting on Friday. As you know, week 24 will start on Friday, and the games will be on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But let's recap what happened in the week 23. Pretty much, it ended with scandal in Istanbul. That is what I'm going to open this past weekend. Scandals never end in the Turkish football. This is not the first time that Turkish football was the most talked about it in the foreign media. After what the incident happened in Istanbul between Galatasaray Adana Demirspor match, pretty much every outlet in the world, even New York Times, big news agency, big sports TVs like ESPN, talked about this scandal thing that happened on Sunday. Yeah, it was very ugly too. Because I think the reason why you people that listens to my program, my podcast, in this short 15 minutes podcast, I always mention the referees, how bad they are in the Turkish Super League. And I'm going to talk about that. But that did not help to bring a foreign VAR officials from outside of Turkey. We're going to talk about that. So there was no way for a team owner to pull out team because his team got, how should I say? It was a bad call. It was not penalty kick. Yes, everyone agrees with that, even Galatasaray fans. But to an owner of Turkish football team, that's one of the few ones in the Turkish Super League. Most of the teams are not owned by individuals. There are a few clubs in the Turkish Super League that is owned by individuals. But Adana Demirspor is owned by an individual. He made a call to his coach after the 12th minute when Turkish referee Oğuzhan Çakır awarded penalty kick in the 18-yard line for Galatasaray. This happened in the 12th minute. And the referee gave that penalty kick. And Galatasaray's new transfer, the Spanish international striker, Morato, scored a goal. Galatasaray was ahead after that. 30 minutes into the match. And after one player got injured, he sat down on the pitch. And then his coach told the captain of the team to pull the team out because the owner want the team out because of that penalty kick that was not supposed to be a PK. Yes, everyone saw it. Even, like I said, Galatasaray fans did not believe that was the penalty kick. Martens made it look like it was a penalty. Whatever the case, so in the 30 minutes of this match, Galatasaray playing at home in front of full house, and Adana Demirspor owner just made a decision and made a miserable decision to pull his team out. All those paid fans came to watch this match. They got robbed. And I think the referee robbed also, and VAR officials robbed Adana Demirspor on the other hand. That's another question, another topic. But the thing is, that does not give anybody a right to pull the team out. The owner of the team, Murat Sancak, said they were trying to get to the referee in the middle after the 12 minutes. And the fourth official never gave the referee in the middle that news that the team wanted to pull out. Well, this case, the match ended at the 30th minute mark. Two teams went into the locker rooms. So probably most talked about thing in the Turkish Super League around the world this past weekend. Was it good for soccer in the Turkey? Was it good for football in Turkey? No. As you know, Turkish football is right now hurting big time. Financial problems. Teams are owing money to players. Teams can't afford to travel. All these things happening in the Turkish Super League. And all these clubs, big threes, are paying big bucks for big name players to bring in Turkey. What good is it? Winning a Turkish Super League championship is not going to be enough when you spend millions dollars and you can't not do anything in the European competition. We saw that today with Galatasaray. Awful. I'm going to talk about that. So, week 23, it was very low goal scoring. With 1-0, that Galatasaray Adana Demirspor match ended. There were only 17 goals scored in this past weekend. It is unbelievable. What good is it when you have a league whose only two teams is fighting for the top spot? And that top spot gap is 6 points still. one other thing. Today, on Thursday, Turkish Football Federation decided on that very scandal match. The Adana Demirspor forfeit the match, so the score will be 3-0 in that match. And also, the Turkish Football Federation decided to take 3 points from Adana Demirspor Point, who has only 5 points, and they're the last team in the Turkish Super League. Guess what? After that deduction of 3 points, they have 2 points now. Well, goodbye, Adana Demirspor, to the Turkish Super League so far after the week 23, because there's no way Adana Demirspor is going to stay in the Turkish Super League this season. We might as well say goodbye to them after disaster weekend, after scandal weekend in the Turkish Super League. I'm not going to talk about pretty much every match in week 23. I told you very low goal scoring. On Monday matches between Trabzonspor, Eyüp, Bodrumspor, Göztepe matches, in 2 matches there was none goals scored. Unbelievable. So total 17 goals scored in the week 23. Not good at all. And all these, as you know, the transfer season ended, the window of transfer season in the Turkish Super League. Galatasaray with most transfers, 7 players, paying a lot of money, left and right. What good it is when today we could not recognize that Galatasaray that plays in the Turkish Super League. Even though Osimhen was suspended because of the 3 yellow cards, he did not play. But you have a Spanish international striker who plays for Spanish national team. Morato couldn't do anything. Couldn't get the ball into the net. They lost big time to a young team from Netherlands. Yes, AZ Alkmaar beat Galatasaray today 4-1 and damaged pretty much their hopes for second leg match. Galatasaray needs in Istanbul next weekend on Thursday a miracle. And Fenerbahçe, on the other hand, they played at home in Istanbul. Fenerbahçe had a good day. They beat Anderlecht 3-0. So Fenerbahçe's 1 foot is in there for the next round. But it doesn't mean that they are going through, because they have a second leg match to play. But things are not looking good for Galatasaray. Pretty much they're done, if you ask me. In Fenerbahçe match, Tadic, Dzeko, and Nesri was the goal scorers. And this VAR official that came in from to match as an official VAR system in the Galatasaray Adana Demirspor match, Jacob Sandberg, he will not be officiating in VAR system in Turkey. He was fired. And I think referee Oğuzhan Çakır will not get pretty much any matches for a long time. Let me tell you about this referee Oğuzhan Çakır. He was born in 1999. He started refereeing 2017. Without having 100 matches on his belt, under his belt, he started reffing Super League matches in Turkish Super League. Guess what? His father was former Turkish referee. That is what's going on with the Turkish referee system. If you have a father, if you have an uncle or your brother who used to ref in the Turkish Super League, you got a game. You got a job as a referee in the Turkish Super League. That's what's wrong. This young referee should never ref this match and should never ref a match in the Turkish Super League, if you ask me. Well, after disaster time in the Europa competitions for Galatasaray and disaster time in the Turkish Super League this past weekend, it's going to be tough going for Galatasaray, because after week 25, they play the second leg match in Istanbul against AZ Alkmaar, and then there's going to be on Monday derby match coming up. It's going to be tough next 10 days for Galatasaray, I can tell you that. Week 24 will start on Friday. Adana Demirspor will host Antalyaspor, and Adana Demirspor said goodbye already. I don't know what. They should not even play in the Turkish Super League. On Saturday, there's 3 matches. Gaziantepspor will be at home against Sivasspor. This should be a very good match. Gaziantep with 26 points and Sivasspor with 23 points. Başakşehir will host Bodrumspor. Beşiktaş will be at home against Trabzonspor. This should be the match of the weekend. On Sunday, Hatayspor will host Alanyaspor, and Eyüpspor will be at home against Kayserispor. Konyaspor will host Samsunspor. This should be a good match. Konyaspor is desperate for points, but Samsunspor is a better team. Fenerbahçe will be at home before Galatasaray plays on Monday, and they will face Kasımpaşa. The gap on top could be, the deficit could be 3 points if Fenerbahçe wins, and before that Galatasaray match when Galatasaray travels to Rize, the Black Sea region. Now, after they play on Thursday, today, Galatasaray will be in Istanbul later on tonight or first thing in the morning on Friday. They have a lot of work to do, and we could not recognize Galatasaray, who played in the European competitions on Thursday. So Rizespor match is going to be another tough one. We'll see what happens. And listen to my podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Don't forget to share with your friends. Also, visit